Your feedback, whether that was on the forum, the Reddit, Discord, and everything else, has been accepted. Enlisted's tech tree has seen changes that you guys all wanted to see. Now, I could go on about all the specific levels for every single faction, but I don't want to waste your time, and you can all read about it yourself anyway, so instead I'll just converse about the key changes from the previously planned tech tree that you guys need to know, and in just a few minutes. And you guys should leave your feedback in the comments, as the developers are always checking the most popular suggestions. Anyway, to begin with, perhaps the immediate thing you notice here is that there are now no longer 10 tiers. There are only 5. They've halved them. And the trees as a whole look much shorter to grind as a result. The reason they've done this is that they've added more options inside the same level. That's what the in-folder thing here means, for example. Essentially, it means it's stuff that you can skip. You just need to get that first unlock to continue progressing. The in-folder stuff is optional. I saw a great deal of recommendations exactly like this, and I do think this is a great change. Some may say, however, that they didn't do this enough. As in, for example, the pre-war Kar98k is in tier 2, rather than an extra in-folder unlock under tier 1 under the second level, where it would say Kar98k. So I can understand that argument. They are very similar anyway, with very few gameplay differences, bar a few, but at the same time I don't really see much reason to complain, because, well, everybody loves bolt-action rifles. And even if you don't, the semi-autos begin early in tier 2 now, meaning you'll be able to progress to more advanced weaponry quicker than in the previous tech tree, and ever before. That being said though, some bolties like the VG2 are still in tier 3, which is confusing, and I can't really think of many reasons for why this exists, but make of that what you will. Anyway, these are all just examples. Also, just as a side note, the M1 carbine has also been massively shifted towards the lower tiers rather than the tier 7 that it used to be in. It's now in tier 2, which may seem drastic, but this semi-automatic gun is literally atrocious, so I strongly agree with the change here. In addition, if you scroll all the way down, you can see tech trees and tiers for equipment, including pistols, melee weapons, backpacks, and more. Not all of which were included on the old previous tech tree. In short, the equipment tiers have been halved too, from 6 tiers down to 3, though the order has remained the same. The pistol tech tree is unchanged, however. Still 5 tiers, which in some people's eyes is a bit too much still. One thing that's also worth mentioning is under the squads tab. The starting squads thing that's mentioned here is confirmed to mean everything underneath it in the column. So Sniper 1, Medic, Tanker 1, etc. They're all available as squads you unlock by default at the start. However, this also includes Rifleman 1. You unlock that by default too. It's just weird formatting by the devs for some reason. Engineer 1 and Mortarman, however, are not unlocked by default. You'll have to unlock these manually. And if you've seen any of my previous videos, you'll already know that I'm in disbelief that engineers are not a default unlock already, considering how vital rally points are to affecting outcomes of games. But anyway, the best thing I can say is that they are an exceptionally early unlock, so you will get these super quickly regardless. And Medic is just going to be Assaulter 1. From what I have had confirmed, there is no longer going to be any Assaulter 1s once the merge happens. Now, I don't know if your Assaulter 1s are going to magically turn into Medics, but we shall see. Almost everything else is the same on all the lists, bar a few exceptions with new things popping up in folders, such as the M1441 tank, which literally wasn't in the previous tech tree at all. Also, there's no T60 in the USSR tree at all. Sad. But nevertheless, the tech tree as a whole looks much more promising, and I'm very happy with it, especially if they keep adding extra stuff in folders for people to unlock as options. The possibilities here are literally endless. An extra thing I'm going to stick in here is the fact that planes, especially the German planes, are like completely full. Like the tech tree for planes is just completely stacked everywhere. And I don't know why they didn't put them in folders as such, because it does look very insane, especially for the Germans, but what do I know? Honestly, who knows? Maybe they'll change it in the future. Remember that everything here is still just a note. It's just a plan, and things will change a lot here depending on your feedback from this video and on everything else that they do release in the coming weeks. So keep suggesting. But before you leave this video, one last big thing to say that you need to know is on the website itself in the last paragraph. The developers do say, and I can confirm, this is not a table that includes battle ratings, or what you will be matched up against in-game. game. Remember the whole new system about the future matchmaking, which will be based on the weaponry you choose to equip before queuing up, similar to War Thunder. Now, I don't know the reason why they mentioned this specifically, which may imply they'd be quite different to the tech tree, though I don't know how different the battle ratings would be compared to the tech trees, because it doesn't really make too much sense for them to be too different. Unless, of course, as we stated earlier, the fact that the bolt action VG2 is above the semi-auto Armaguerra in the tech tree is reversed by battle rating, meaning the VG2 could have a lower battle rating than the Armaguerra, despite being high above it in the tech tree tiers. That's just one possible example, and I could be very wrong about this. This is pure speculation by myself at this point. I don't know this for sure, but it isn't exactly clear. Let's hope there's another devlog soon that clarifies the allocated battle rating to all weapons, as that will be a super interesting topic to read.